Hi, this is Yvonne with Arctic Therapy and Rehab in Barrow, Alaska. I want to share with some of my patients a very specific sequence of exercises that I prefer to teach for low back pain. They're based off of Stuart McGill's Big 3 exercises. My model currently is doing the first one. To begin this exercise, it's called the McGill Crunch. It's not really much of a crunch, but as you can see, he's got his leg one straight, one bent. His hands are underneath the low part of his back here, just to support it and keep that natural curve in his lumbar spine. You don't want it to actually press flat into the table, or the mat here, sorry. And when he starts the exercise, we're gonna have him inhale, and as he exhales, we're gonna have him pull his navel in toward his spine and just raise his head and shoulders up high enough that if the floor was a scales there, it would read out 0, that it's unweighted. There's no weight from his head and shoulders on the floor. We're gonna make sure your chin is tucked so that the front of your neck isn't straining to do this. You're gonna hold it for about 5 seconds and relax. Good, one more here. Exhale and just unweight. Yeah, just barely bringing your head and shoulders up off the floor. Perfect, okay. And I would do about 5 or 6 of those in a sequence of exercises until you can build up to being able to do more. Okay, the next one we're gonna do is gonna be on your side. So we're gonna have you roll carefully to your side. And again, as you're rolling, especially if you have back pain, you're gonna wanna roll as a unit very carefully. Don't twist your back as you're turning to the side. I'm gonna show 2 versions of this. This is the first version. Go ahead and prop up on your elbow there. So you're gonna have your knees bent. You can support your opposite shoulder or your weight-bearing shoulder with the opposite hand. And you're going to be just bringing your hips forward and up. Actually, that hip needs to come down just a smidge. There you go. You want to have a nice line between your nose and all the way down through your midline. And you're going to hold that. You should be feeling the muscles right in here on your side there, working very hard to keep your hips from falling in toward the floor. Good. Go ahead and come down. You're going to repeat that on the opposite side. You want to be able to hold that, if possible, for 20 to 30 seconds. And then you're going to repeat on the other side. And you can do 2 or 3 of them depending on how you're feeling. You want to make sure that, again, that your back doesn't hurt. He's going to repeat that on the opposite side now for us. Prop up on your elbow. Try to get your elbow up underneath you a little bit better there. Yeah. Good. And you're going to bring your hips forward just a little bit more so that you're in alignment there. Again, you want to make sure that your head, spine, and midline is all the way together. Okay? Go ahead and flip back over and we'll show the more advanced version of this exercise now. It's for it's the quadratus lumborum muscle, but it's one of the deeper muscles that helps support your lumbar spine from a lateral position. So this is the more advanced version. You're gonna have your feet sort of stacked heel toe at the bottom there, and you're gonna prop up on one elbow, more like a side plank here. And again, the idea is to keep your hip up and in line here, and you're going to be using these muscles right along the side here. Your obliques and your quadratus lumborum are going to be working hard. Okay, go ahead and bring that down. We're going to have you come onto all 4s now. Again, try not to twist your back. Okay, and this one here, there's different exercises, different names for the exercise, but we're just going to call it the quadruped pointer. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is getting your back in a nice neutral position. Go ahead and let that round out just a little bit more. There we go, good, okay? You wanna have your stomach muscles contracted so that you feel like you're really supporting, they're not sagging down. Okay, no, that's too high there. There we go. Okay, so you're not sagging down at all, but you're supporting your back using your abdominal muscles primarily, okay? So now you're going to bring the opposite hand and leg up. Good. And down. Good, and then switch. Trying to keep your hips and shoulders, imagine them basically in a block of concrete, trying not to move relative to each other at all. It's just your hips and shoulders moving. Good. Now once it gets easier for you, you can advance that, okay? You come up and then just kind of brush the floor and then reach right back up. Good. Slowly, try not to twist your hips at all there. Keep your back really level. Good. And again. Good. Again, as long as your abdominal muscles are really supporting your back, you're going to really feel them engaged. Okay, if you're letting your hips rotate too much, yeah, that was a little bit more than you should. Try to keep that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, good. Another more advanced version of this. Go ahead and bring opposite arm and leg up here for me. Okay, then try to draw little squares with your feet and hands at the same time. No, those are circles. Try to make squares. And keep your back straight. As you can see, this is a more advanced version of that exercise. Good. Up and keep your stomach really contracted so that your hips aren't, or your pelvis isn't rotating. Good. Excellent, okay? So that's the most advanced version of that one, and when you can do that on both sides and keep your back very nice and flat, then you're ready to move on to the next level of that. Okay, then the last exercise I want to show you, you're going to need the ball for. This exercise I don't recommend at all when your back is still hurting. This is a preventative exercise to make sure that your back doesn't start to hurt again. So when your back is better and you're feeling nice and strong, we want to have you start trying the stir the pot exercise. So make sure your hips are down level with your body there. Good. And you're able to move the ball, kind of like a push-up on the ball. But what you're trying to do is keep your body still and just move the arms and the ball. Good. You're going to feel a really good core workout with that. Okay. You can go clockwise and counterclockwise. And this is called stir the pot. It's one of the most advanced of the McGill core stabilization exercises. Thank you.